Yeah, man, it's true. You're not stuck at 10, 20K a month. You're just measuring the wrong thing. I'm Amin, and alhamdulillah, I've got multiple business to 6 figures, 1 to 7 figures, and I've done it by focusing on numbers, KPIs, systems thinking, and just being a doer and implementing and focusing on that. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you how to get away from those 10, 20K months that you're stuck at and to really accelerate forward and inshallah without stopping. Because the biggest trap that entrepreneurs are stuck in 2025, I'm sure 2026, is there are too many tactics out there. There are too many strategies out there, especially for marketing. You know, there's this ad strategy and each guru has their own ad strategy, right? Sometimes they're completely different, sometimes they're similar. And the same goes for content, short form, long form. There's so many tactics out there, so many YouTube videos, books, podcasts, shorts, and more. And so what we do is we always chase what is new, what is exciting, and we put our whole success of our business on those things. And that's not a problem that they're there and there's so many good resources out there. The problem is that there's too many, right? There's like that whole go to the bread aisle of a supermarket and there's 20 types and you just get confused and just pick one randomly. We don't want to do that. What we do want to do is start to build our business and grow our business on our own terms, in the way that we want to do it, using the fundamentals of business, less so than chasing specific tactics, although the tactics can help us if we use them in the right way. And the first way we do that is decide on our actual objective. You know, it's obvious, but some people, they want to get their business to 50K a month with 70% profit margins, and then they want to focus on living a balanced lifestyle, right? And having great staff members that are going to take care of things and a smooth operation. Others, they want to get to 100K a month, 500K a month and push beyond that. And like, that is really their main thing in life. And especially like whether you're married or not, whether you have kids or not, whether you have other goals outside of business in your life, that will determine a lot of these things. But the main thing here is to actually have a clear objective for the year, right? And you don't have to do this in January or in December. You can do this at any point. You could say, okay, for the rest of the year, the next 3 months, the next 6 months, I have this objective, whatever it is. And that objective needs to be based on your personal goals. Whether is it revenue? Is it profit? Is it whatever, the hours that you're working? Now, I'll take you through an example with this. So let's say we decide that our objective is revenue based, right? So we're currently doing 15K a month. And in the rest of the year, let's say the 6 months left of the year, we want to get to 30K a month. We want to double that, right? Obviously, consistently, we want to be doing 30K. So now we've got our target, and now we want to get to what is the thing that will drive that forward, right? So now you need to look at your actual business. This is where you need to have the right numbers in place. And you need to understand, okay, revenue-wise, what is the problem? Is it the sales, like sales conversion, whether you're selling on a landing page or you're selling via a call or a webinar? That's what I would call the sales like mechanism, the way that you're selling. Is it leads? Is it the number of leads are low? So that would be like your ads or your content or stuff like that. Is it your quality of leads, right? These are the two main ways that you would increase revenue or decrease it, right? You've also got the offer, I suppose, which is what are you like selling in the first place? How attractive is the offer, right? And funnily enough, this comes down to the 3 books that Alex Hormozi has put out. He did $100 million offers, $100 million leads, and then $100 million money models. And these 3 together really will kind of allow you to understand where you need to focus, right? Because this is all about focus. And then let's say you've decided, okay, our goal for the year is to double revenue. And when we look at our numbers, we notice that the problem is purely like number of leads, right? That's our problem. So now you want to decide on what metric are you going to use to measure your progress in this area, right? You see how we're like narrowing down our focus bit by bit? This is like strategic thinking that a lot of, especially solo founders, they don't do. They're not disciplined enough to do like this like more boring strategic work. And you shouldn't spend like days every week doing this. This is something you do like once every 90 days or whatever, right? And then you kind of put it to the side. But when it comes to your leads in the example, do you want, one number we would track is the number of leads that are coming in every week or every day, every month, right? And then it could also be maybe the cost per lead. If you're running ads, you're very dependent on ads. It could be the cost per lead. And then you're going to have 1 to 3 like KPIs, like main numbers that you're tracking. And these are your things that you're going to eat and sleep for the next 90 days. You're going to focus on this every day. At the end of the day, where were we? Or the beginning of the day, where were we yesterday? Where were we yesterday? At the end of the week, every meeting you have, like once a week, you probably have a meeting with your team or whatever, and you look at these numbers, right? And that has to be going up. And then when you know what numbers you're focusing on, like I said, 1 to 3 numbers, you need to create a 90-day plan of how you're going to make those numbers go up, basically. The good news is you don't have to start from scratch. As you know, we've got so many materials out there, whether it's courses, whether it's books. You grab that book, you grab the chapter about lead gen, and then when you decide on your lead gen, you're going to decide on, okay, what's our method for lead gen? I believe in $100 million leads, there's 8 ways of doing lead gen. So you're going to like pick on one, which is going to be your main driver of your lead growth in the next 90 days, right? Let's say you pick Hormozy, you're going to study that and you're going to create a 90-day roadmap for how you're going to implement that. So the first week or 2, it might be purely learning about how Facebook ads work. Maybe you're new to it. How do Facebook ads work? What makes ads work and not work? What are examples of ads that are working and not working? Then after that, it's going to be implementation. And you're going to create a 90-day plan or like 12-week plan of what you're going to do every week to implement this system. And you're going to build into the plan even like every month, you're going to have check-ins. Like, where are we? Are we on track or off track for our numbers? And if we're off track, we know we need to do something a little bit drastic to get us on track. And this is the level of focus that you need to really make things happen in your business. If you hear of something, you drop the transcript of that video and ChatGPT like teaches you more about it and gives you like a to-do list. If you do all of that, but you don't create like a solid plan like this with weekly deadlines for everything, and especially like accountability and stuff like that, then you're not going to implement it. And if you don't implement these kind of systems properly and completely, then you won't get the result, right? You might actually spend effort and time on it, but you're not going to get the result if you don't implement it properly. So now what have you got? You've got your yearly objective for the rest of the year. You've got your area that you want to focus on, whether it's revenue, profit, whatever. Then you've decided on the system you're going to implement to improve that number and the KPIs, the numbers that you're going to track to know whether you're making progress or not. And then you've translated that system into a 90-day roadmap of what you're going to implement week by week to implement this system and basically get the results, right? And you're going to focus on that. This is the key thing here as well, is you need to remove thinking of other stuff, right? So a lot of people lie to themselves. They say, okay, my focus is, I'm going to focus, right, on revenue, and I am going to focus on lead gen, and I'm going to do ads and content this quarter, these 12 weeks. That's not going to work. Right, that's too much. Unless the only time you could do that type of thing is if you have like a co-founder, where the co-founder is fully going to focus on the content and you're going to fully focus on the ads. Or you have like a very high level employee who's very capable, he's got experience in marketing, whatever. He takes one side, you take the other. That's when you can do those things. But a lot of us, when we're on like 15K, 20K a month, we're not really hiring that level of person. And therefore, you got to pick, like, you as the founder, what you're going to do. No doubt you can give your employees like 12-week systems to implement, but they just might be simpler ones, right? But something as key as your whole lead gen that's going to lead to your revenue like doubling, that's often going to be something that you're going to need to drive forward. So focusing is so important. You can't tell yourself, I'm going to implement this system and that system. What else? The other thing you can't do is say, I'm going to do the overall ad strategy, I'm going to take it from Hormozy, but then the way of putting ads together, I'm going to take it from this guy. You can do that later when you've got some success on this. Like when you've implemented the 12 weeks, you've got some success, and now you're looking for tweaks and optimizations. You could do that. But initially, I always recommend just follow one model, man. And it makes it so much easier to focus and just get it done. So that's what I would recommend you do. And then beyond that, it's just implementing this plan. It's just sticking to it, being disciplined. That's where I really recommend business coaches, accountability coaches, especially for us. Like we don't have like 100-person teams. We've got a few members of staff maybe, but we're the person driving it forward. And a lot of us have a very flexible kind of business, a flexible lifestyle. It's very easy to kind of not hold yourself accountable, right? And that's why you need someone external to just make sure it gets done. You'd be shocked how the biggest sports stars in the world, without a coach, they just wouldn't have been there, right? Let's say Ronaldo, yeah? Ronaldo's a hard worker and everything, but if he didn't have a coach, I bet he'd be like 25% worse. And he just wouldn't have that legendary status that he has right now. Like, love him or hate him, he's got a legendary status, and his coaches over the years have probably squeezed another 25% out of him. Without that, he wouldn't be there. And that applies to every high performer, whether it's in sports, business, or elsewhere. So be disciplined, be focused, create like focus for yourself and implement, take action, right? Pick one system and implement it. Do this, let me know how it goes, and see you in the next video.